Let's start changing the way you think. I assume you're on this course because either you have failed in the Eat, Move, or Think Right area. And this course or program, whatever you want to call it, is designed to assist you through a process. So for us to assist you, we need you to be very, very honest with yourself. So answer the following question. What is the problem you want to change? And be very, very honest. Write it down in your own words and put it down on that notepad. What is the problem you want to change? If there's more than one, just choose the main one, the primary one at the moment, and just write it down in your own words. Now that you know what the problem is, I want you to answer this question. How do you know you're having this problem? Very often when I ask this question, people get confused. But let me just give you a little bit of background. We only know something because one of our senses can pick it up. In other words, we can either see, hear, feel, smell, or taste something. So there has to be some sensory evidence that you're actually having a problem. So I'll give you a good example. Let's again use the concept of weight, and maybe I'll use it throughout the whole program as an idea. Let's assume that your weight is a problem. The evidence telling you that you've got a problem is not how you feel about yourself. It has to be something in the sense where when I look in the mirror, I don't look well to myself, or my partner comments about it. There's got to be something tangible, some tangible evidence that's telling you you're having this problem. So I want you to think about that for a little while and then just write that down into your notepad. Excellent. Let's move on. So now that we're clear on what you don't want, now it's time to decide what you do want. So review what you've written down in the notepad now over the last couple of minutes during the session, and I want you to look at that very clearly and read it and understand it and answer a very simple statement. What do you want? Now you know you don't want, put down what you do want. Now let me just explain something here. There's different ways we can put down a positive statement. Generally we talk about an away from or toward strategy. An away from strategy is the strategy behind my decision-making process. In other words, if I again take the weight concept, if I put down I don't want to be overweight as what I want, then what I'm actually doing is I'm saying I don't want to be overweight. In other words, I don't want the negative that is coming with my current situation. So I'm technically trying to avoid some form of pain. I can take exactly the same statement and turn it around and say, I want to look slim, or I want to be healthier, or I want to have a quality life. That statement is a positive statement, which means it's leaning towards me gaining something positive. So an away from statement basically describes me saying something where I'm trying to avoid something else. A positive towards statement is a statement where I'm saying something where in that statement there's something I could gain, there's a benefit in it for me. Now what we need to understand, and which is fascinating in life, if my strategy is an away from, in other words, I'm going on a program because I don't want to be overweight, then there's a very strong probability that as soon as the fear of being overweight dissipates, that I will lose the motivation to continue the program. But if I'm on a program because I want to have a slim figure or a healthy or energized lifestyle or a better emotional state, or I want to feel fantastically positive, then because it's a positive towards thing, it's something that I'm going to gain, I've got a by far better probability of achieving the end result. So the minute I ask you what do you want, make sure you write it in a very positive towards statement, so that you and I know that you're going to have a strong probability of achieving. You're doing really great. I want you now to write down evidence that will tell you that you've achieved your goal. Once again, as in the previous slide, it's got to be actual evidence, something that my senses can pick up, something I can see, hear, feel, taste or smell, something really, really tangible. So just write that down, take that amazing goal of yours and put down evidence. So if it was losing weight, the easy one would be I want to have a fantastic body, and you can say, well, I want to fit into a certain size clothing, or you can attach a measure of actual weight or anything to that effect. So write that down and then we can move on. Great, we're doing so well. Well, now you're clear and knowing what you want, and you also know what the goal is or the measurement is that you want to achieve, now we can move on to a part that I really enjoy, and that's the concept of celebration. So let me just firstly explain the concept of celebration. It's basically called self-celebration. As humans, what we tend to do, we go through life and we set goals or marks or achievements or some form of measurement of what we want to achieve. But as we move through life, we tend to constantly move the goal. Very often, just before we get to achieving the goal, we move the goal. Just before we get achieving the next goal, we move the goal. So our subconscious minds never truly experience a sense of achievement. In this program, what we're going to do is in every test or every section that you have to achieve something, we're going to have some form of celebration. Because what happens if we celebrate, if we give ourselves recognition of achievement, and we do that fairly often over a long time frame, our subconscious minds literally gets programmed that achievements or challenges or goals are exciting and pleasurable. So in this specific case, what you're going to do is you're now clear in what you want to achieve. You now know the exact measure. So I want you to go and decide how you're going to spoil yourself. How are you going to celebrate that? Now, sometimes when I say that to people, they immediately think I'm talking about bribery. Well, let's understand what bribery is. Bribery is if I offer you something so that you will do something for me. That's bribery. There's two people involved. In this case, it's only you. You cannot bribe yourself. You can set a goal and you can reward. Now, for me, a typical reward is a bookshop. I love getting lost in a very good bookshop, and so if I set goals, I would very often spoil myself at the end of achieving them by going into a bookstore and browsing, and obviously walking out maybe with a book that is overpriced for me, but that is my way of spoiling myself. Now, if it is that you want to lose weight on this program, please don't go and put your reward a big slab of chocolate. Do something realistic. It could be something cheap, something fun. So decide what that is and put that down as well. So what I want you to know is it's time to start to enjoy life. What we've done in this section is we've looked at the way you think about what you want to achieve. If it was an away from, we've now changed it, and it's very clear and a positive towards strategy. You've got your goal defined, and you now have your reward section that is awaiting for you. So let's move on to the next lessons and start being more productive so you can start enjoying the success of this program.